have a friend who does Pilates, and every time she comes back from her class, I am struck by how incredibly relaxed she looks. So comment on Pilates with regards to your spirit. How does it affect your spirit personally?
You know what? That's my favorite part.
Yes.
It really is, because when I get people into a class or into my studio, I just feel like I'm throwing the party. I want them to come to a great party.
Yes.
Because it's for them. You know, when you talked about people that go to a class and they feel defeated, it breaks my heart, because a teacher in a class is supposed to be for them.
Yes.
So every time somebody comes to me, I'm there for them. I want to service you like nobody's business. I am that girl. I am the bartender for your Pilates practice today. And I want you to leave with a good posture hangover like nobody's business.
There you go. I like that.
So the mind part of it is, it can't be like watching paint dry. So the approach I take, the delivery I think I have that has, you know, garnished me a few students and friends along the way is the fact that it has to be appropriate and available to you, right?
Right, yes.
You know, most of my students, they're not training for the Nutcracker Ballet this season.
Right.
And once I tell them, you know, you don't have to make those, if you could straighten your legs, you probably wouldn't need me. Everybody feels better. And then that makes it more available to them, right? You have to feel like, right, if you're going somewhere, you're going there because you want to go there. If people have to come to my class and it's work, and it's something they don't want to do, they're certainly not going to leave with anything in their pocket. But during class, we have a little laugh because they can relax a little bit. Efficient movement means it's effortless, right?
Right.
It's not like carrying the 50-pound dumbbells when there's a lot of effort involved in there, and you put them down and you can sort of feel exhausted and broken. Your day makes you feel like that. Pilates, I would say, should be sort of the reboot, the restore.
Right.
In that when they come in, I'm like, we're going to grease your wheels, we're going to super glue all your parts back together. And that instantly appeals to everybody, because who doesn't want that?
Right. Yes.
So I think it's the language that I speak. I think, knowing that every human is different but relatively the same. We all want to feel like we're taller when we walk. I've never met anybody that said they wanted to get shorter. And I would say I've never met a woman.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't want to be shorter.
Exactly. I never met anybody who said they wanted to be shorter. They all want to be taller.
Uh-huh.
And I think one of the best evaluations I had after doing a workshop was one of my students walked out and she goes, when I do a lot of my stuff, I really feel like it's just kind of exhausting, like just holding my arms and my shoulders. It's just so much work. She goes, all of a sudden it doesn't feel like it's work to stand here.
Yes.
And Joseph Pilates said that endlessly in his work. It should be effortless. It should be efficient. Joseph even says in his book, which I love, he says, you Americans, you move 10 things when you only needed to move one. So the mind approach for me is, let's work smarter, not harder. That way we don't have to do it for as long, and we can go have margaritas somewhere afterwards.
Right.
That's, I think, where the mind component comes in. Neurology is huge. You have to retrain behavior over and over and over again. But I like to say that it's not just practice that makes perfect, right? Because if you're familiar with golf, you can go have a really crappy golf swing over and over again. It's still going to be crappy.
That's true.
It has to be perfect practice. So once somebody knows how to stack themselves up the way it should be, and they continue to do it, they won't have to think about it anymore.
Right.
It just happens. And once you can deliver that information to somebody in a way they understand, their mind lights up.
Oh, that's true.
And they keep coming back, even though I tell them, I'll teach you everything I'll teach you everything I know in a week, and then you don't need me. You can just come back for the entertainment.
The entertainment, that's what I love.
Pilates party.
It has to
It's
be
just a
fun.
Pilates party. Oh my
It
God,
has
the
to be
first
fun.
time I did Pilates, I was so annoyed.
It
was
was
annoying. It was like 20 years ago, and one of my greatest girlfriends was teaching and opening a studio, and I loved her and I wanted to support her. But she put me on this machine, which was weird, and she kept telling me where to put my tailbone, and I didn't know why. And she didn't have enough experience at the time to be able to translate. That's why I say I'm like the Rosetta Stone of movement.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you a lot of times anatomically where you're supposed to be. I'm going to relate it to something you understand.
Yes.
And running it through your posture filter has been a big one for me. So, one of the things as a takeaway for everybody, if you just walk around going, what does it look like if I were to be photographed? And chances are you'll change something. Right? And so those kinds of things I think are the most important. So Pilates it's not dance moves, it's not a girly stretch class. It's got to be something that makes me feel better all day long, every day. And I don't have to think about it to do it.
Yes, yeah, that again, that sets people up for success.